What is up, fellow summoners, and welcome to the channel. Today it's time for another champ refresh video. It's been a couple of weeks since I put one of these together, and I have been wanting now for a while to get back into the Mystic class to do one of these on IronFist. And the fact that he is coming to the basic arena tomorrow, Thursday, this was as good a time as any to then go back and do it on him. I do like IronFist quite a bit. He is a character, I think he was one of the very first 3 stars that I ever had maxed out, and I used him a lot. I remember when they changed his animations. I just absolutely loved him, and I still don't have him. He's one of those characters I don't have as a 4-star, so I will be picking him up in the basic arena, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go ahead, let's jump right into this thing, and I've tried to think outside of the box a little bit as far as playstyle, so I'll try to do my best to explain everything, try to make this clear on what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, and we'll just have a little bit of fun with it. So here we go. So for starters, when I sat down to do this champ refresh video, I was looking for one area that I really could focus on building this character around. I do that with all my refresh videos. And the big thing that stuck out, obviously, is the chi that is a huge part of the Iron Fist in the comics, in the Netflix series, all of that is severely lacking from the Iron Fist iteration that we have in MCOC. So everything that I built the character around this refresh was all focused on Danny being able to use his chi to augment his abilities, increase his power, affect the battle, change his abilities throughout the course of the fight as the fight goes on. And the more times you've been able to use your chi to your advantage, the stronger he will become. So that is kind of the base that I then wanted to build on. So hopefully that will give a good understanding of everything else that is about to come. So I think the easiest way for me to break this down is by using the chi. There are 3 different abilities that Danny can gain throughout the fight. These are not on a timer. Once you have gained the ability, you will not lose it. It is not a buff, so it is not susceptible to being nullified or removed. And each one of these abilities is going to be linked to a special. So when you fire off the S1, the S2, the S3, each one of those will give you these individual abilities. So I'm just going to name off the abilities. With the S1, it's Chi Augmentation. With the S2, it's Chi Manipulation. And with the S3, it is Chi Absorption. So those are the 3 kind of headings here that you can see. Those are the 3 main abilities that he will get. Then the Chi itself will play a further role, which I'll explain as we get into it. So with the S1 and the S2, as far as animation goes, this may throw somebody for a loop, but just hang with me here. The actual animation of the S1 and the S2 will simply be a heavy attack. The reason for that is I really wanted to focus more on his overall damage output being part of the 5-hit combo, then also being able to throw in that extra hit with the heavy. But as you are using and gaining these abilities, his regular 5-hit combos are becoming more and more powerful. And I wanted that to be the main source of damage as opposed to relying on specials, which hopefully that will again ring clear as I explain it all. So I guess I need to explain the heavy attack. No longer will armor breaks be applied through crits with your normal attacks. They will only be applied with heavies. I would like to see the armor break be somewhere in the time frame of like a 10 to 15 second armor break, long enough that you can stack a couple of them if you time everything together, but not long enough to where it's going to be something crazy like Symbiote Spider-Man with like an 80-second armor break. This is something much less than that, but still you can stack a couple of them. Then in addition to the armor break, the heavy will also put a nullify on the enemy. This nullify will not last a real long time, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, but it is ability that if you know, let's say the enemy has a regen coming or an unstoppable ability or just something that you know is coming at a set time in the fight, you can fire off that heavy to have that 4 or 5 second window there to be able to nullify that ability. So moving that heavy attack over into the S1, the heavy attack for the S1 when you fire it off, the Chi Augmentation, you're going to get the armor break, you're going to get the nullify, you get the ability Chi Augmentation, and what that is going to do to Iron Fist is it's going to change the first medium attack of each combo from 1 hit. It's going to give an additional hit. It's not going to split the medium attack itself into 2 hits. It's going to be a regular medium attack plus another light attack. which I would love to actually see the physical animations of that change within the fight, where it's kind of a 1-2 blow real quick as you come in with the first medium attack. So in total, this will be similar to like Drax. You'll have a total of 6 hits that you will be doing once you have the chi augmentation ability active, once you've fired off that S1. This, like I said, is going to be increasing the amount of damage that you are doing, which will then not allow you to rely so much on specials for your damage. Moving over now into the S2, again, the animation itself is just going to be a heavy attack. Chi manipulation is the ability that you will gain the first time you use the S2. What this is going to allow you to do is your second medium attack, whenever that occurs in a combo, whether you do a regular medium, light, 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 medium, or you just run in and do a medium, medium attack, that last medium, whenever you use it, is going to have increase to its attack power. It's also going to have increase to block penetration. So whether you come in and you're attacking directly into them, that last medium attack is going to do a significant amount of damage above what a normal medium attack would. Or if you are attacking, let's say they're in a corner, you're hitting them while they're blocking, there's also going to be increased to block penetration for that last medium attack, which again is all going to be pouring in the damage. So if you step back and you look at both the augmentation and the manipulation, when you have both of those abilities up and working together, basically you're going to be doing a 6-hit combo. There's basically an extra light attack in there to increase damage, plus that second medium attack whenever you finish is going to have increased attack power, increased block penetration if they are blocking. And then in addition to that, the S1 and the S2 are heavy attacks. So you can then even end, even if they're blocking, you can end that combo with a heavy attack and completely break their block if they are blocking for additional damage. So again, I've said it a couple times now, the whole goal of all of this is to allow the chi to kind of ramp up Iron Fist as the fight goes on, to change the abilities that he has and focus all of the damage within the confines of the regular 5-hit combo, and then kind of adding in your heavy attack once you've got all of your abilities built up. Then the final ability that you can gain is with the S3 called Chi Absorption. This one is fairly straightforward. Whenever a special is used, whether you are using it or whether the enemy is using it, the Iron Fist absorbs that energy and converts it into a Chi buff for himself. Chi can be stacked up to 5 times, has several different abilities that can be augmented once he is awakened, but straight out of the box, quote unquote, when you stack Chi, it can be used to quickly shrug off debuffs. It's not an instant shrug off, but it is going to drastically reduce. Let's say you get a bleed on yourself and you have a Chi active, it is going to, I would say by maybe 75%, something very similar to what you see with Rogue, quickly remove that from you. And again, that can be stacked up to a total of 5 times. Now, once you have all of your abilities active, you have got your Chi augmentation, manipulation, and absorption, which honestly, I mean, you could pick and choose what you want. Obviously, for shorter fights, you probably are just going to want to spam the S1 over and over again. For longer fights, if you're in AQ or you're doing special events, this is definitely a character that is really purpose-built for longer fights. You'll be able to get all of your abilities active. And then once you have all those active, because you can't obviously get them over and over again, you can kind of choose how you want to use your special bar of power. And what I mean by that is you can either use your S1 and your S2, which you basically would only want to use your S1. Spam your S1 over and over and over again if you're trying to get the maximum amount of damage. However, you can play that more conservatively. And what I mean by that is you can use your special bars of power to augment your Chi to give yourself a healing factor, which on the Marvel pages it talks a lot about the fact that he does have the ability to use his Chi to give himself a regeneration factor, and I would like to see that implemented here. And what I mean by that is by swiping back and holding, not holding block, but holding your special bar of power for 2.5 seconds, you can activate this regen using your special bar of power. And the way that it will work is it will instantly absorb 1 full bar of power. So in order to have this activate, obviously you have to at least have an S1 available. And then it's going to absorb 1 bar of power. It's going to give you an instant heal. Nothing crazy, maybe like 1,000, 1,500, something like that. But then for every second after that, it is going to absorb 10% of your special bars of power that are left. And for each second and each 10% that it absorbs, it turns that into a regen for yourself. Now, during that time period until your energy, your special bar is completely gone, you cannot gain additional power. But what you can do is, for instance, if you waited until you had 3 full bars of power, you swipe back, hold down your special bar, special button for 2.5 seconds. That 3rd bar of power instantly is converted into a heal. And then for those few seconds, while it is absorbing that 2nd bar of power, before it falls down below 1 bar, you can actually use your S1 to get the damage and to more quickly get through that healing factor if that is how you wanted to play that. There will be a timer and kind of a cooldown period once you use your energy for a regen. I'm thinking probably somewhere around maybe the 20-second mark, 15 to 20 seconds. I don't want this to be like a super OP heal. We're not trying to make a Wolverine 2.0 here, but certainly would like to see this incorporated some way into Iron Fist to have a little bit of a heal. I think that's a good way to do it because it gives a choice to the player, which is what I really would prefer. Choice whether you want to use your specials to pump out the most damage you can, just spamming that S1 over and over and over again with the heavy attack at the end of your combo. Or again, you can play it more more defensively, kind of sit back, play it more slowly, get that maximum regen going to 3 bars of power. And once you've got that regen, once you're in cooldown, then you can start spamming your S1 over and over again. So I really like the kind of dual purpose there, allowing the player to choose. And then finally, the last thing to cover here would be the Awakened ability, which I'm going to call the Heart of Shou-lao. This all kind of ties back into the chi that you gain through the chi absorption with the S3. If I can just go back here real quick and cover, when you use the S3, every time a special is used, you gain a chi buff. They are buffs, so they can be nullified, they can be removed by like Doctor Strange, but they stack up to 5. Each one of the buffs, when you get a debuff on yourself, is absorbed and more quickly removes that debuff from you. The Awakened ability, though, is going to augment and increase that chi buff even further. You are going to start the fight with 1 bar of power, so this is more quickly going to be able to allow you. You can either right away use the S1 to get the chi augmentation so that you have that extra 6th hit with your combo, or this will allow you to more quickly get to either your S2 or your S3 if you want to start building up your chi. Then in addition to starting with 1 bar of power, you are also going to start with 1 chi. In addition to that, chi gives an increase to the critical rate of your heavy attack, which the higher the signature level goes, the higher that crit chance is for your heavy. So again, even though you don't have a ton of damage coming from your specials as you normally would with other players, again, it is being ramped up and increased through the use of your chi. Also, in addition to that, your chi buffs can no longer be nullified and removed, so you don't have to worry about that. As with any of these refresh videos that I do, my goal is not ever to like, take these characters and make them like god tier OP. Like, that's not really the point. The point is more so to take the characters and change them in a way that just makes them more fun to play. And I guess fun has a different definition for everybody, but for myself personally, I find characters more fun and interesting, and I enjoy playing with them more when I am the one that is controlling how well they do. And what I mean by that is, like, if you take a character like X-23, like, she does really, really good damage, but there's never really necessarily any thought that goes into how you play the character. You just run in, parry stun, and just do as many attacks together as you can to get the bleeds up. And I'm fine with that. I do like X-23. But I think with characters that you really have to kind of think, what buffs and abilities, what order do I want to gain them in based upon what fight I'm in, who I'm fighting, how long the fight will be, being able to kind of time everything together, building up your chi, using that to increase the critical rate of your heavies, maybe getting right up to an S2 before you get there, firing off the S1, then very quickly with the next, with the next 5-hit combo, you've got another S1 ready, so back-to-back heavy attacks with, 5 chi charges, both of them will be crits. You got double armor breaks now. Having more of the responsibility of how well the character plays, more on the player's skill level, is what I interpret to be fun. And I know that probably some people will completely disagree with me on that. I think a lot of times people just want to go in, smash face, and not have to think about anything. And I get that. There is a point to some of that with a few of the characters. But anyway, I guess that all just kind of comes back to the around to the idea of I'm just trying to make these characters more fun to play. That's really the whole purpose of these refresh videos, because I try to pick out characters that they're just not used a lot in the game. And typically that comes with having low base damage. If you look at basically every one of the champ refresh videos I've done, they're characters that have very little use because they, one, either have no utility or they have no utility plus they have no damage output, so they just don't get used. So I know some people say, well, all you do is just increase the damage output, and that is true to a point, but if you look at the characters, that's what a lot of them need. And as far as IronFist goes, I didn't really feel like I wanted to give him a ton of utility as far as like massive like power locks or anything like that. He does have a little bit built in with the ability to nullify with the heavies, so you can time that together. Again, that harkens back to your skill level. And he does have a little bit of regen that you can play with as well to give him some more use in longer fights, be able to use him in several fights in a row for things like AQ and AW. So I hope you have enjoyed this champ refresh video. As always, I love to hear the ideas that you guys come up with, and now I've got a really good spot for those. Down in the link to this video is my brand new Discord server that I just put together. You can go over there. We got a general chat. We've got a bunch of different chats that I'm putting together. We've got a Club 801 sponsorship chat for sponsors only. We've got stuff for Wormax, which I know a lot of people love doing that. But I'm also going to put together a chat that is devoted to like theory crafting / developer / refresh videos, where if you have got comments like regarding things like this, that's a great spot for you to be able to put them. Because in the past, people have emailed me, and that's totally fine, but I would also like to be able to take those ideas and also share them with the community, because a lot of them are really, really good. In addition to that, I also will be putting together, this was an idea given to me that I talked about in my podcast on Monday. I would like to put together a kind of contest, if you want to call it that, champ refresh video, where I give a character to the community, to the subscribers, and then they put together a champ refresh. And what I'll do is I'll use that Discord server, I'll use that chat to be able to compile all those, and then we'll let maybe I'll pick like the top 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know, it just depends upon how many ideas get submitted, and we'll put that together in a video. We'll let people vote on the one they think is the best. And then I'll probably give some sort of special role to you in Discord showing that you have been the Champ Refresh King, you've won the contest. I'll also take that information and we'll tweet it, we'll direct message it to Kabam, and we'll get your thoughts out there to them as well. So look forward to all of that. Again, go down to the description. I'm trying to push this Discord server for a couple different reasons. One, with me not being able to live stream quite as much, it's a good opportunity for me to still stay in contact with everybody. And I know there is Twitter. The link to my Twitter is there as well. But it's much more of a conversationalist style. It's easier to kind of have long, drawn-out conversations without having to worry about a cap to the word minimum. So anyway, go check all of that out, and I'm sure that you will, and you will enjoy it, I think. Anyway, I appreciate, as always, so much the support that you guys give to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until I see you in the next one, have a great day.